What's going on YouTube? The Gaming Gift back here with another of my Is It Good? And I know it may seem I'm a little late for this, but I feel it's an appropriate time now that Legends is released worldwide and everyone has had enough time to sit down and experience it. Dragonball Legends, is it good? So the game has been out for quite some time now. It was released early on in the month of May as soft releases to test the waters and put the game out over periods of time. We are now towards the end of June, and everyone now, the game has been released worldwide, and we now have the chance to sit down, really play, and experience it. So that may be why it seems I'm a little late, but I feel it's an appropriate time. But is Dragon Ball Legends good? Well, let's actually talk about the game first. So Dragon Ball Legends is the newest Dragon Ball title to hit Android and iOS.
Allow me to show you the true power of a Saiyan Elite.
Thank you, Vegeta. Released early on back in the month of May. This is a PvP-focused game centered around its very own story, featuring a new main character, Shallot, an ancient Saiyan, or air quote, ancient Saiyan, as we're figuring that out. He's an ancient Saiyan, guys. Centered around Shallot, the new Saiyan, in a tournament of time, so pretty much, so to speak. The game has three banners out currently. It had one banner for probably just about 2 months now since the game came out. There aren't too many characters in the game at the moment. That's sure to increase as we do get a hefty amount of new characters and new versions of them as as a new banner rolls around. Like I said before, the game is very PvP focused, so here we'll actually go to characters real quick. So the characters themselves are actually very in depth. Each character has its own specific class, its own typing, which is very familiar, from like other mobile games as usual, like Dokkan, where they have like Ant, Agile, all that. The colors are go like purple, green, yellow, and like 2 special colors. Each all having their own specific weaknesses. The weaknesses play a very huge part because you'll notice the amount of damage that's being done when you're fighting a type advantage or fighting against a weakness. It's very huge, which is why it's very key on team building. So you can make a team up to 6. As you can see, this is my current party. I have the SP Vegeta, Piccolo, Broly, Gohan. I play Shallot because I like his abilities, which I'll get into, and then Raditz. So here, for example, let's click on Vegeta. So, as you can see, Vegeta is the purple typing. He is a ranged type character, so he excels at the Ki Blasts and his ultimate. Let's go a little into detail. This is basically here, you'll see main cards held. He has a 2. And character attack, Frieza Force, and Saiyan. So for like any Z ability that talks about any of these 2 tags, Vegeta will fall under that. You come over here to abilities. Each character has 3 different abilities. One's going to be the main ability, which while in battle you can click on the character's icon to activate an ability exclusive to them to give them a boost or debuff the opponent, which however it falls under after a certain time has. So for example, Princess Pride, 50% to blast damage inflicted for 20 timer counts, 20 seconds, which is huge. That does a bunch of damage. His Z ability to tag Saiyan Blast attack during battle. So the Z ability is active even if Vegeta is not in battle. So any Saiyan that is in battle will get this 22 blast attack boost, and then a unique ability all to his own, 22 blast inflicted against super warriors, so like the Z fighters and stuff. So very in depth for the characters, which is very good. It adds a strategic element to the PvP and whatnot. The graphics in the game are very well done. There are little nicks and crannies here. It's a mobile game, that's fine. Onto the gameplay itself. The gameplay is very smooth most of the time. The gameplay gets the job done. There are a few minor fixes that I feel will happen in the future, as Vanishing Step doesn't necessarily work some of the times, and the hitboxes are a little off. I shouldn't be getting hit from a person aiming straight while I'm to their left. It's just, that shouldn't happen. Oh, excuse me. But those are things that can be updated in the future. One of the biggest talks I hear about the game is how it is very, very grind heavy, and this being a PvP focused game, you know, you come over to PvP, it has its own section. This is basically what the game centers around. Yeah, okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. This is basically what the game centers around, so this is basically what you're going to be doing a majority of the time, you know, outside of the story. And from what I hear a lot of people talk about is that it's not really particularly fun on casuals. That is not entirely true. While this game doesn't have a way to grab like soul items like exclusively for missions, kind of like what Dokkan has for their orbs, you can still grind out the story to get the soul items and whatnot, and you also get soul items upon doing the scout battles and stuff that they have going on literally round the clock. There are like 4 or 5 of them live right now. They have them up most of the time, and they put out a plethora of them to level up some smaller characters and also grab some stuff. So this being a PvP focused game, there isn't going to be a PvP game out there that you're going, I didn't mean to click on Krillin, that you're going to not have a grind for. Take your Duel Links, for example. You have to put in the grind for your Duel Links. You have to sit down and build a deck and play. You have to actually put effort in to get the cards that you want and pull from the boxes. That's going to be the same stick here, guys. So I don't particularly have a problem with the game being so grindy. But I have heard talk about it, so I'm not really gonna knock that off of the game. Yeah, the game's too grindy. It's not fun to casuals. When casuals just have to dig in just a little bit further. Besides all of that, there aren't really many noticeable problems with the game. The game like I said, the game runs smooth. It needs a few touch-ups here and there, and that's just about it. So, pros for Dragon Ball Legends: very in-depth, very skill-based combat. You can win with a level 600 Hero Vegeta against a level 1000 Broly, as long as you play the game right. As long as you know how to use your characters and utilize them to the best of their ability, you'll have no problems. So that's one thing I like. That's what makes Final Fantasy Dissidia Opera Omnia such a hit. Even though there are characters that are clearly weaker than others, as long as you utilize them to their fullest, you'll get the full amount out of them and you'll get the job done. The same thing applies here. So yeah, there's that. The story, while it's not crazy, it's something that's been done time and time again in Dragon Ball. We get more time travel and stuff. People brought from different parts of the time. It's still very Dragon Ball, and Shout is actually a very entertaining character. A Tsundere Saiyan with amnesia is kind of interesting to me. But yeah, besides like a little nicks in the gameplay, there is room for improvement for Dragon Ball Legends in the future, as for any game. But though most of the nicks that the game has right now are pretty minor. They're not major enough for me to knock it off and say that this game isn't all that great, which comes down to the main question: is Dragon Ball Legends good? Yes. If you're a fan of Dragon Ball and if you're willing to sit down and sink time into it, Dragon Ball Legends could be an amazing time killer that you can actually sit here and have fun with in skilled PvP based combat. Very fast paced, very enjoyable. The story is pretty fun to go through and everything, and there's plenty of room for improvements, added stuff for the future. So Dragon Ball Legends' future is looking pretty good from here out, or so I believe. So yes, I believe Dragon Ball Legends is good, and that'll do it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going featuring another series on the channel in the future called Did It Get Better? Since I'm doing the Isn't Good and whatnot, we're going to come across some games that maybe aren't so good at the moment. Or even like Dragonball Legends right here, for example. I'm not saying that it's bad by any means. I believe it's a good game, but maybe we could come back to it down the road for the Is It Better series when when it does get some improvisation and some added stuff. So look forward to that, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is the Gaming GIF signing off. Have a wonderful day, people.